To talk about ZeeContact. It's our solution for contacting the homeowner to set up that appointment. So here at Horsepower Brands, we made the decision to partner with Pronexus, who's been in the space for well over 15 years and is focused on contacting that consumer to get an appointment on the schedule. So the first phase that we always talk about within our four walls with Alicia here is about working with our brand teams, because we're in multiple industries, multiple brands. Alicia, why don't you share a little bit with our candidates about how you work with the brands to create the right process?
Yeah, so I will meet up with them once a week and just making sure that I'm aligned in what their scope of work is, making sure there's nothing changing in their field, that I need to communicate back to Pronexus and so that they can communicate that to the agents. So while those agents are taking those phone calls, that we're giving the customers the right information and being able to book those appointments accordingly.
Perfect. And you're also focused on the key metrics and performance of Pronexus, and so understanding like what's working here could work over here, and make sure we have best practices. So while the brands are focused on their customer journey and that process, we're still at the home with all these customers, and so you're able to relay those best practices across the brands.
Correct.
So then you go into working with the candidates that have been awarded the franchise agreement. They sign a franchise agreement. What does it look like from the time of signing before opening for that franchisee?
So we go into a couple different phases. Phase one, we sign contracts like you were just mentioning, and then we also partner with Pronexus, the candidate, and also Horsepower Brands. We all get in the room. We have the onboarding sessions and the meetings, and just making sure that you feel supported during that transitional period, making sure that we're answering any questions that you might have regarding your dashboards, making sure that you have all your phone numbers set up, and just making sure that the communication stays strong across the board, so that way when your phones turn on after your academy, that you are ready to take those and we can get some appointments on your schedule.
Yeah, and I'm sure a common question you'll receive during that process is the call center, what are their hours? Are they open? How long are they open?
Yeah, so our call center hours are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So we do inbound calls 24 hours a day. However, it is also real-time lead generation, so you'll get a notification at the time that lead comes in, so you're aware that something came through the process. However, we only call out on the hours of 8 to 8, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to make sure that
you're in line with the federal regulations.
Correct,
Yeah.
and that's local times.
Yeah. So then always a benefit of a franchise system is the feedback. So now they've signed, they've gone through those onboarding steps with you. Now they're open for business. How does it look like in your role working with the franchise system post opening?
So all of the calls are recorded and monitored, so you can listen to those real time in your own time. And then you can also, there's a 5-question survey that you can provide feedback, so that way that Pronexus can have that to do instant coaching with the agents. And then again, if there's anything that you're hearing or seeing, you can get in contact with Pronexus or myself, and then we'll communicate it back to the brand to, so we can be aligned in what the agents are hearing. So if there's anything that we need to improve on, we can do so.
Yeah. Lastly, going back to that 24/7, the inbound side, how important it is that somebody's there to answer the call. A lot of lead generation techniques in the home service space is not based on whether lead generation was an effective lead or not. It's actually how did you handle that lead and were you effective? So did you pick up the phone 24/7? The inbound solution is there. On the outbound or the outreach initiatives, that's even critical, because many of these leads coming in, it's a form fill where they're giving us their name, their email, and their phone number. Now what you do with that outreach activity and the number of occurrences is critical to success. Can you share what does ZeeContact and Pronexus does with the outreach?
Yeah, we have a multi-touch point system, so we try to contact the leads in any capacity the way that they want to be reached. So we do chats, text, emails, phone calls over a multi-day period, so that way we can do every attempt to get in contact and qualify that lead. And when we qualify, we're looking for somebody who owns the home, that's of age, that can make a decision, and it's something in the scope of the roles that you're wanting to actually perform the work on.
Yeah, and I've even talked with Pronexus and their team of they really measure the conversion factors, and oftentimes it's not that first or second attempt, but it can be that fourth or fifth attempt where there's still enough opportunity to reach out and get a conversion to an appointment. So I appreciate you taking the time with us today and sharing a little bit more about ZeeContact, but it's critical to the success in home service space that you have something set up to talk to your homeowners either on an inbound or outbound. So I hope you learned a lot about ZeeContact, and you'll learn more as you come to Discovery Day.